So in this activity, in number 1, we figured out the total current and the voltage across each resistor here. Total current was just total voltage divided by total resistance. Total voltage was 12 volts. Total resistance, these are in series, so you add them together to get 670. And then the voltage is current times resistance. So to find the voltage across each resistor, we're just going to do the current, which in a series circuit is the same everywhere, 17.91 milliamps, times the resistance. And so we got voltage across resistor 1 was around 3.58. Voltage across resistor 2 was 8.418. So now for number 2, we're going to enter this into the circuit design software. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we are going to jump over to Multisim Live. And I'm going to start by placing a power source. Here's my DC voltage. Default is 5 volts. We're going to change that to 12 volts. I just double clicked on the 5 volts over here, and then I can change it to 12 here. Put a ground down here. To connect a wire from the negative side of the battery to the ground, you just hover over the negative terminal, click to start a wire, and then click to end it there. Then I need, so I got my 12-volt power supply and my ground. I need a 200 ohm resistor and a 470 ohm resistor. So this one will be, click, 200 ohms. Then I can just duplicate that, rotate it using this button, change the resistance value to 470. And then I just need to wire this thing in like that. So I'll start here. You kind of have to hover over until you get it to turn into a spool of wire. Click to start, click to stop. So there's our circuit, but we need to measure total current and voltage across each resistor and see how they match up to our numbers that we got here. Okay, so we need to measure the current and the voltage across each resistor. To measure the current, you can just grab a current probe and place it on the wire. We place it down here, then see how the arrow is pointing towards the positive, but the power is going to flow in this direction, so we would need to flip the current measurement so the arrow is going in the same measurement. So now if I hit play to run my simulation, it tells me that my total current is 17.91 milliamps. And that is what we got when we calculated there. Now I need to do some voltmeters. So if you select voltage, then click to place the voltage meter on the positive side of the resistor, meaning the side where if you went down it, you would go to the positive side of the battery. Then we need a reference probe on the other side of here. If we just run the simulation right now, it'll tell us 12 volts because we don't have a reference probe set up, so it's just going to reference the ground. So from here on, there's 12 volts, but that's the total voltage. If we want to find out what the voltage is just across this resistor, then we have to put a reference probe by clicking on this V- right here, right on the other side of the resistor. Now, when you run the simulation, it will measure the voltage just across that resistor, and we get 3.5821, and that is pretty close to what we got over here, 3.582. They got 3.5821. Okay, now we need to measure the voltage across this resistor, and hopefully we will get something close to 8.418. So I'm just going to take another voltage probe, put my first one on the positive side of the resistor, meaning you could trace back to the positive side of the battery. Then I'll get my reference probe and place it there. And now when I run my simulation, I get 8.4179 volts, which is pretty close to that. But if you add these two together, you'll get 12. And if you add these two together, you'll get 12, which is the total voltage. So that's how you set up in Multisim for this kind of circuit.